Hi, folks. It just occurred to me that a couple months back, I did a video on 5 of my top reads and promised I would do a part 2 and share my next 5. I've actually got about 15, 16 of my top reads. These are just books that have had a massive impact on my life and on my business that I have very often shared with my clients or given to my clients. So I just thought I would share the next 5 with you now. So it won't take long. I'm just going to give a brief description of each and why I think you should read it. And the first is Instant Cash Flow by Brad Sugars. Brad has written many books, I think maybe 17 books. This one's my favorite. It's not like a narrative book where you just read it from cover to cover. It's kind of like a menu of strategies that you can use to grow the profits of your business, broken down by our patented 5-way system, which is basically leads, conversion rate, average value of sale, number of transactions, and margins. So he broke down all of the different strategies, dozens and dozens of strategies we have, hundreds in fact, under each category, and then he gives a little description of each, and then actually rates them out of 5. So you can actually sort through the strategies that Brad thinks are best, and then decide whether or not you want to apply them to your business. So fantastic menu of a couple hundred strategies to grow your profits. The second is Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. Anybody who's done any time management work will be very familiar with this book. It's time management, and it's also about overcoming procrastination. So anybody who's not getting the important things done and is instead spending their time, wasting their time, if you will, doing low value, menial, urgent operational tasks needs to read this book. This book is going to teach you how to get the most important thing done and the hardest thing done first, so you feel a lot better the rest of the day and the rest of the week. The third book is called Who by Jeff Smart. Jeff owns a recruitment consultancy company in America. And he, with his business partner, wrote this book, Who, which I think is probably the best book on recruitment I've ever read. So it's a recruitment system. And what Jeff teaches us, I think more than anything else, is that we don't spend enough time interviewing, researching, checking references, preparing, figuring out who we actually want to recruit in our business and what kind of role and what's the best fit. So anybody who really wants to improve their recruitment process and hire the right people the first time, every time, definitely needs to read that book, and you probably need to read it twice. Third book is Whale Done, The Power of Positive Relationships. This is another book by Ken Blanchard. He wrote a lot of the 1-Minute Manager books. And this basically explains the importance of catching people doing things right as opposed to doing things wrong. I think that the book starts off with with survey results of employees who talk about whenever their manager talks to them, it's always when they've done something wrong. Their manager never talks to them when they've done something right. And what we want to be doing in our workplace is congratulating and rewarding good behavior and ignoring bad behavior, kind of like parenting, but they equate it to the training of killer whales. So when they're trying to get the killer whales in SeaWorld to do a trick, and that's not all that PC, because they're not doing that anymore at SeaWorld, because we know that that's now cruel to killer whales, but just take the lesson. When they were teaching killer whales tricks, if you punished a killer whale for not doing a trick, which is basically you withhold food, that killer whale is just going to attack you and bite you or eat you. So they reward the killer whales when they jump through the hoop or whatever, but they don't punish a killer whale for doing something wrong. Really impressive book. It's one of the 90-minute reads that I love. So there's no excuse for reading that book. You can read it before lunch. So I definitely recommend that if you manage or lead people. And finally, The E-Myth Revisited. It's the book I give all my clients at the start of my relationship with them. It's probably the #1 book for small businesses anywhere in the world. It's an American author, Michael E. Gerber, an American company. But anybody who's starting up a small business, or if you've been in business for 30 years, doesn't matter. This is the book you need to read. It talks about the end in mind, having clarity around what you're actually looking to create, and then putting in the processes to get there, the systems to get there, so that your team are doing the work and you're not stuck in doing the work. Most business owners are the hardest working people in their company. for the least amount of money. This is the book you need to read if you want to change that notion. So these are my next 5 reads. Hope you enjoyed this. Let me know which books you're going to choose. So type them into the comment box or whatever. If you enjoyed the video, please like it, comment it, and share on it. Thanks very much. Have a great day.